Well, we got plenty of snow this past month or two, and the big melt has begun, which means there's plenty of water out on the ground. Now, hopefully it stays outside and doesn't find a way into your home.
Oh, I've lived that. It's no fun.
No.
And if it does happen, let's say a basement leak or a burst pipe, you're going to want to contact someone with the latest gear, prompt service, and a fair price. And you can get all of that with Bergsma's Plumbing and Water Restoration. Take a look. It's that time of year, an anxious time for homeowners because all that snow is starting to melt, which means you could have a leak in that basement. And we're here with Joe from Bergsma Plumbing to talk about water restoration. Joe, as a plumber and a plumbing company, why did you get into the water restoration angle?
There's many times we'd go to a house, we'd fix a burst pipe, like in January, all the burst pipes, or a water flood in the basement, and we had to leave, and some of these customers had to wait a month to 2 months before they could get someone out there to dry it out.
So you've got a flooded basement and it's sitting there for a month. Talk about the dangers that could provide.
Oh, that can create mold. If it's sewage, it's even worse. So we can get right on it. Do the plumbing, same 24-hour service, come right, take care of the restoration work.
And you've got someone dedicated to that work with some of the best gear around.
Yeah, and the best experience, over 20 years experience.
And here he is, Jason, the man with the experience and the gear. Jason, walk me through all of this, some of it brand new equipment that just came out that helps people dry out those basements.
So what we would start with is the most important thing is to get the water out of the home. So this machine, along with a couple other things that we have on the truck, hooks right to the truck and suctions the water right out of it. This is usually meant for more of a carpet. When you go over top of it, we'll pull all the water out.
Excellent.
Once you get all the water out, the best thing is to start with the evaporation and drying process. So here I have two DHUs that will do that for pulling moisture out of the structure. This one is about 100 pints a day. This is about 140 to 150 pints a day that it'll pull out of the structure.
Okay, and this is, you called them DHUs. That would be short for
Dehumidifier.
Dehumidifier. Okay, so and this is some of the latest tech. This is new gear.
Yes, this is a new. A lot of these are newer ones that have come out in the last few years that we have spent the money and time to get them.
Okay, and so this is pulling the water out.
Yep. So what it'll do is it'll pull air in. It takes that air in, and then it creates it into a dry warm air and kicks dry warm air out. And then it'll have a hose that runs to a drain that dumps the moisture that is pulling out of the air.
All right, so you got the visible water that you see, that gets pulled out. Then there's that water that you don't see, that humidity, that stuff that's soaked into the carpet or soaked into the wood, and that's what this takes care of.
Yes, this will take care of all that.
And you've got a mat down front here that's pretty neat. Talk about that hardwood floor mat.
So this hardwood floor mat hooks up to this system here, and the system here will take and actually pull the water from underneath of like wood floors, tile floors, things like that, that get rather expensive for an adjuster to replace. So this will help save that so they don't have as much as repair. And plus, it's less that we're pulling out of the home, so they're not interrupted in their day-to-day life.
And plus, you probably love the hardwood floors that you have in your home, and you don't want to have to replace them. So this can actually, you were showing me with your hands what you've seen. You've seen that warped. Actually.
Yeah, and it'll cup, and it can cup like this. And then what it'll do is that machine will take and lay it back flat. And usually you pair this machine with one of these two items here, and that helps pull that moisture out from under the floor.
Excellent. And then run me down the rest. Of course, you got to have your blowers, right?
Yes. So this one here is an air scrubber. This is like an air purifier for your home. This one here will actually pull the dirty air in through this big piece here and then kick out clean air. Now that's usually figurative size of the room, how many air changes you have to make in order to get it back to stuff. We use them on jobs like mold jobs or where we have high dust or possible contaminants. So that'll take that out of there.
Let's talk about that just a little bit more, because that is the danger that people don't see. As Joe mentioned, some of these folks are waiting upwards of a month, maybe even longer, once the water's out, for somebody to come in and restore the space.
Yes.
In that time is when those spores are flying, when that mold happens.
Yep, you can get mold inside of that stuff. A lot of times, like if we go into a sewer backup like Joe was talking about, you have fecal matter in there, and that has to come out, get cleaned. You have to make a clean environment for that because it could travel through the rest of the home.
So it's great to know as a customer of Bergsma's that your space is going to be safe and breathable once all of this is done. And of course, you got to blow it dry.
Yep, and those are the air movers that go along with it. That gets paired again with one of your DHUs. That creates the evaporation and air movement, which helps kick the moisture through the air, bring it back to the DHU and pull the moisture out, send it down the drain and dry that up.
All right, so let's, now that we know all of the equipment and the process that happens, let's talk about how quickly it can happen for someone.
So typically they will tell you you want to be to a claim within 24 to 48 hours. Because at 72 hours is when you can start seeing that potential growth, and that's when it can start to grow. And once it starts to grow, it attaches to food sources and it just goes crazy.
Yeah, we're talking the mold, right? We're talking those spores. You want to get Bergsma into your home before that hits, and that's what you do.
Yes, that's what we do. And all hours of the night. I mean, we respond pretty much anytime. So.
Well, let's get you to Bergsma Plumbing. If that's you, if unfortunately you're waking up to a flooded basement, or maybe you got a leak upstairs, something's soaked, something's wet, and it needs to be restored, get your water restoration from Bergsma Plumbing. Hey, if that's you, give them a call today. You can find them 285 Dodge Court right there in Comstock Park. Phone 616-813-5219, or you can get more info at bergsmaplumbing.com.